All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Forward Thinking Founders, where we talk to founders about their companies, their visions for the future, and how the two collide. Today, I'm very excited to be talking to Collin Tayor, who's a co-founder of Revolute Robotics. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Great to be here, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, excited to have you on. Looking forward to learning more about what you are working on. So, for people that haven't heard of your company, what are you working on? What is Revolute Robotics?
Well, we offer the ability to collect data where never before possible. And we do that using robots that operate where no other robot can. Essentially, we've got a system, we call it HAMR, HMR, short for Hybrid Mobility Robot, and it can actually both fly through the air and drive on the ground. And this lets it do some pretty incredible things. Like a drone, it can safely fly to a destination. It can deploy quickly, get there in short order. It can also be used to fly indoors in confined spaces without, a fear of crashing. But the interesting thing about it is it can actually roll on the ground. And this lets it save energy because it's not fighting gravity to stay in the air. It can actually roll or drive for 5 to 10 times longer than it can fly. So we combine those benefits of drones with the aerial advantage, and we combine that long operating time and high durability of ground rovers in one single compact system.
Okay, so walk me through maybe let's say I am a person who would want access to this robot, this machine. Can you kind of explain what would my persona be? Essentially, who would use this robot and what they would do it with? Just kind of like dive a little deeper into maybe a use case or two.
Yeah, absolutely. There's quite a few. If you think of drones when they first came out, everybody thought they were exclusive to real estate. They quickly found that they've got applications in construction, inspection, agriculture. We think we've got some pretty similar applications, but the home run use case for us is undoubtedly confined space inspections. Our target customers are the inspection companies, and these guys service areas like power plants, oil refineries, chemical factories, even underground mines. And they perform these inspections in tight spaces. They usually take several days to several weeks, cost tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they're finding that by using robots and performing these inspections remotely, not only are they staying out of dangerous areas, but they're cutting their inspection times down from weeks to just a few hours. They're cutting their costs down by hundreds of thousands, up to tens of millions of dollars per inspection. And so when we do our customer discovery and we talk to the folks out there, it usually results in, yes, this is a need. This has been a need for a very long time. And, when can you get outside and show us?
That's awesome. And I'm kind of curious, where did this idea come from? Or in other words, like what's the origin story here? And how'd you land on this company?
Yeah, I am in a lucky position myself. My background is in the commercial drone industry. I spent about 7 years in B2B drone sales, working for construction and inspection customers. My co-founder is the brains behind the operation. He used to work at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. He worked on hybrid aerial terrestrial systems there. And this ultimately inspired him to dedicate his PhD. He spent 4 years developing, or researching, and then developing the most ideal hybrid system to operate in all environments. And so we connected in our final year of studies, and we decided to combine my knowledge of the industry need with his knowledge of how to build the solution.
I feel like that's the ideal way to build a company. People with complementary skill sets, caring about the same kind of stuff, coming together to build a great company, which is great. I'm
Yin
curious.
and yang.
Yeah, yin and yang, 100%. So, I'm a software guy. I don't have a lot of, I can't build robots. I'm not a hardware person. So I'm curious, do you mind sharing, what are you spending your time on a day to day? Are you spending a lot of time actually building the machines, building the robots? Are you doing a lot of sales stuff? Can you walk us through an average life in the day for Collin Tayor?
Yeah, absolutely. I personally do not build the robots. I am not a hardware guy nor a software guy, tinker as I try. We've got some much smarter folks working on that. My day usually, well, of course it differs, just like any founder. I'd say my average week is probably a third writing grants, working with Department of Defense, trying to get that non-dilutive funding in. Another third is working with those customers, learning as much as we can and relaying that information to our product team. The last third could be any number of meetings, networking, strategizing, manic late night whiteboarding sessions, all the other miscellaneous things that pop up.
100%. And if you were to kind of like take what you're doing on a day to day, zoom out, just kind of like look out, 5, 10, 15 years, like what do you think this company could be? Or in other words, what's your big vision here and what direction are you rowing in every day as you're building it out?
Our vision is to have hybrid robots specialized to each type of unique use case. We want to have systems built specifically for construction mapping, agriculture surveys, mining inspections, all the rest. Our focus now is to dominate the confined space inspection market. There are very, very few players in there, and the ones that are doing inspections that we can build on pretty significantly. So our goal is to, for lack of a better word, monopolize that confined space industry before branching out into some of the other inspection categories, and ultimately spreading to public safety, security, construction, agriculture, and of course, working on military alongside as a dual use company.
And I'm curious, like in order to make that happen, like you need some help, right? It takes a village to make a startup work and scale. So my question for you is how can the forward-thinking founders community help? Are you hiring? Are you raising money? Are you looking for customers or partners? Like how can we assist?
Well, we are always learning, and we are always looking for more folks to talk to help guide our product development. I would ask that if you know anybody out there who is using unmanned systems, drones or robots, or is thinking about it, is interested in learning more, send them our way. We'd love to talk to them. There's usually some helpful information we can share, and we learn quite a bit along the way. So we feel like those conversations are usually mutually beneficial, and something that we really look forward to.
And then for my last question, if someone wanted to learn more about what you're doing, find you online, like what do you have a website? Do you have social media presence, like an email address? How can people kind of plug in and learn more?
Absolutely. Check out our website, revoluterobotics.com, REVOLUTE robotics. We've also got a YouTube page where you can check out some videos of our system in action. We've got an Instagram presence that we built pretty recently that's got some more in-depth sort of behind the scenes stuff if you're interested in that. And you can always reach me anytime at Collin@revoluterobotics.com, COLIN.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, brother. Pleasure to be here.